You could say it's a trick of the mind if you want, but the truth is, we're here for you. You're hearing a language your mind can digest, but we're speaking with the language of the heart, your heart. Hi, I am Lorna Silva, and this is an excerpt of the play I wrote, The Visit. I found out through a friend of mine, she mentioned them, that it's somebody from theater. That's how we all meet in theater. Oh, you should come check them out. And I went to a workshop out on a whim, out of curiosity. And I think it was probably the introduction to playwriting workshop that I went to, just out of curiosity, and I completely fell in love with them. I was more drawn to Breath of Fire because of their vibe and how much fun it is. But they were really encouraging. We're here to develop new voices. Why don't you write? And that's when I started writing and realizing I can do this. I can actually write plays, because theater is something that I absolutely love. I go to the theater all the time, but I never really thought that I would be somebody that could write something that would end up on a stage. Groups like Breath of Fire are very important because they give a voice to women and people of color. One of the most beautiful things that Breath of Fire does is create community, and community that is surrounded by love, and creating out of love where we're all there to support each other and really stand for each other to create something beautiful. One of the biggest missions for Breath of Fire is developing the voices of new playwrights so that they're getting produced. But they're also building community, and they offer a lot of workshops about many different things, from acting, improv workshops. I am the resident improv instructor for Breath of Fire. And it's developing those skills so you can become a better writer, but it's really to become a better human being in connection and really in touch with your creative side. How did I fall in love in playwriting exactly? I think it was precisely writing, and it was writing about something as personal as falling out of love. And the fact that I could pour all that hurt and pain and put it on page, and something magical happened when it went on the page. And then I shared it with others and they liked it. I think that's a moment that made me fall in love with it, that it can actually transform something very personal. The first piece that I wrote for the stage was a monologue. And I didn't realize until I was ready to go on stage how deeply personal it was, that in a way it was more scary than acting. Because I'm writing something that's very personal and that's very revealing to me, about me, and I'm performing it myself. It's, oh my God, what have I done? But then the beauty of standing in front of that stage and then performing it, and because a lot of the stuff that I wrote was comedic, but it had moments of self-realization, and just hearing the laughter of the audience and hearing the gasps. And especially it was the piece about my breakup, and hearing the audible gasps from women, recognizing oh, we know where this is going. And just being able to get that feedback, it's right in that moment. It's something that I hadn't associated with writing. And it was really wonderful, and it's still terrifying. My play is based on some true events. It's about what if your ancestors could come visit you and give you feedback on your life as it is right now. And in my case, it's my female ancestors. And it is based on an experience that I had during a meditation retreat, that there was a moment that all of a sudden I felt like all my female ancestors were right there. And they were telling me, you're okay, keep doing what you're doing. And it's that. It's like, what if those ancestors are with us right now and watching us and giving us feedback and giving us their opinions from beyond the grave? What inspired me to actually put it in writing, because I really hesitated about putting in writing, because it may sound really woo-woo for people, like what you had, that experience felt real for me. it was in sharing the story with many other, especially the Breath of Fire group was the first people that I shared this story with. And I was like, I think I might have something. And when I shared the story, they were like, oh my God, you have to write it. We want to hear more about it. So that's, and especially hearing from women, they're like, oh my God, we want to hear this. That's what really inspired me. Like, okay, I have something. Let me put it on paper. The biggest message is self-acceptance, that the choices that we make in life are ours, and to own them and live up to them. Because there is, for me personally, there's always this fear that, oh my God, I'm disappointing my family. I'm disappointing all those that came before me. And there is no disappointment, maybe from some, but it's your life choice and it's your life to live. Own those choices and live your life to the fullest. I have so much to tell, and it goes back to the themes of ancestors, because I think my family on both sides, both mom and dad, have such a fascinating history behind them that needs to be told, that deserves to be told. And on a very personal note, I'm from Honduras, I'm from Central America, and I think that we are a voice that's practically non-existent in the theater and entertainment world. So whenever I have self-doubt, like, can I move forward? Am I good enough to do this? It's like, you know what? It's not for me, but it's for the greater. There needs to be more of us daring and just going for it. Start writing. Start writing whenever you get a moment. Even in sometimes what I've discovered, and that's one of the things that I learned through Breath of Fire, sometimes just a stream of consciousness. Just start writing without thinking that this is going to be a play, this is going to be something. And there is some writing that I just let go, don't look back. But there is other that I feel like, oh my, I need to go back and look at this. And that's been one of the best ways for me to just start writing. Just write stream of consciousness. I think it's so important. For me, it's two reasons. You have the narrative of immigrants that came here as adults, such as myself, that still have very strong connections to our home country and our native language, Spanish. And you have this vast number of second generations, people whose families were immigrants and they moved the entire family here. And there is this connection to our culture and our language. And so it's getting lost and it's getting eroded, wanting to be part of mainstream, wanting to belong. But that is an important voice, and it enriches, I would say, this nation as a whole, and I would say it's part of the whole world literature for me. And that's such an important voice, and to own it and to be proud of it. And that's one of the things that I absolutely love about Breath of Fire, is that we are unabashedly Latinas and women, yet we're also very inclusive. We want to give space to all different voices, to come up, actually find your own voice and write about it and share it. There are many reasons to go see it. It's a very diverse group, just from age range, the different types of plays, a lot of it celebrating Latino culture, Latino women. And one thing for sure, it will be fun. There will be lots of funny, laugh out loud moments, and yet with a lot of heart and with a strong message.